Okay, yeah, I hit live over there, D. I'm about to
Live on YouTube.
yeah.
All
So yeah,
right.
y'all, we do got some articles to go over. So of course, when we got off live yesterday, Ripple decided that they wanted to put news out that they applying for a banking license. So they're joining the crypto rush for legitimacy. The US SEC halts full launch of Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund. So we got that. Robinhood CEO responds to comments on OpenAI SpaceX tokenization. So you got the tech junkies and the rich CEOs beefing. Ethereum's ambitious journey to $10,000 begins with new community foundation launch. So we got some Ethereum news. You got Ripple's new Swiss banking deal unlocks a European corridor in stablecoin wars. Banks. So we got Arthur Hayes says that U.S. banks may unlock 6.8 trillion T-bill buying power through stablecoins. So this is Arthur Hayes. And then we got Microsoft to cut up to 9,000 or more jobs as it invests in AI. So we got some pretty good articles and stuff to go over. Appreciate everybody coming in. Make sure y'all double tapping the screen. Make sure y'all share the live. Make sure y'all comment and let us know what y'all think. We want to hear back from y'all um on some of this stuff because this stuff is interesting. We in some crazy times. The craziest times. Huh?
Right.
Yeah, I'm live on there already.
All right.
We locked in. We locked in on YouTube. What's up?
Turn this.
All right. What's up, 12? What's up, Bullish Beard? What's good? All right, there we go. What's up, everybody?
What's good? What's good?
Get to it. Danny want to know if her cousin in here. Danny said, "Cousin, is you in here?" Danny want to make sure her cousin in there.
Shout out to Danny cousin.
Danny, shout out to Danny. So you know, I'm gonna just go ahead and start out hot with this Ripple news because I'm just like,
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
that threw me off. So like we was talking about yesterday, I just found it really weird that the Link 2 news was gaining hella traction, and then Ripple came out and said that they applied for a U.S. banking license. Also, they come out with this after Circle said that they applied for a banking license, which is crazy because I believe when we talked about the news with Circle applying for a banking license, I said Ripple won't be too far behind this. And boom, what was it? A day or two later,
Oh
Ripple
yeah.
applies for a U.S. banking license.
Oh yeah.
So here we are. I didn't know it was gonna happen that fast when I said it, but here we are. So yeah, it says Ripple applies for U.S. banking license, joining crypto rush for legitimacy. So it says Ripple has followed Circle. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me share my screen over here on YouTube. My bad, my bad, my bad. There we go. Y'all should be able to see it now. All right. So, yeah, Ripple has followed Circle in looking to be its own bank as the Congress moved ahead with a bill to regulate stablecoin issuers under the national bank regulator. So it says crypto firm Ripple is applying for a banking license in the U.S. following a similar move by stablecoin issuer Circle Internet Group as crypto firms look to be regulated to deepen ties with traditional finance. Now, what I was asking D earlier is why is Ripple and Circle applying to be banks and we haven't even got the Genius Act passed?
Oh, because they ready, yo. They ready. They ready, fam.
I'm like, I'm not shocked that they apply for banks because we always said Ripple, Kraken, Circle, all these, Coinbase was all gonna be banks. We, I feel like a lot of people in the space has said that. I'm not shocked. I just was like, I didn't expect them to do it till after we got regulatory clarity. We have no Genius Act signed yet, and the Clarity Act isn't signed. So how the hell we applying to be banks and y'all ain't even got no regulation? How the hell you gonna be a bank and you ain't regulated? But how they like? I don't. It doesn't make any sense for them to be applying to be a bank and they have no regulations. That is crazy. But I'll continue with the article. So yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, is that weird to y'all, or is this how this supposed to go? But how are they applying to be banks and they're not regulated?
Yeah. It's kind of like, yo, like they have everything that they need in place. They have everything that they need in place because they know whatever the flip of the switch, whatever that moment happens, it's go time. So they want to let y'all know, like, hey, we are already licensed. They're already licensed. Let's keep it 100. You know, they talking about they about to get licensed, but they already licensed behind the scenes. And
Yeah,
then
that's
when
what
everything happens,
Tay was saying in the comments right here. Tay Johnson, she said Ripple been working on that in the background. The process is 36 months. Remember them NDAs.
yeah, it's just that the NDAs is up and they need to offset, some of this news. Like we were just saying earlier, they got to offset that negativity news. So it's like, all right, let's have something that will overshadow everything. Hey, we're in the process of becoming a bank. No shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mike said people don't know that they are already regulated. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, they just
St.
found
Lou
out
said
exactly.
it makes sense to them. I think they know way more than we do, for sure. They absolutely do. Then you got Peachy saying, "Is this a sign? Do they know something we don't yet?" So, and then Manny said, "It's all by design and time of events is already set." Let me go to YouTube and read the comments. Let me see. Daniel said, "I think it's good. It would allow up to 250K in ROUSD to be insured and redeemed." 12 said they got the green light, and simultaneously Mr. Dub said that BBB bill, I think, is the flip of the switch bill. Is that the tax bill from Loomis? Because that one didn't make the she was too late. It didn't make the big beautiful bill. So that amendment didn't make it.
Mm.
Yeah, that amendment didn't make it. When they okay. So yeah, y'all. So I'm gonna continue with the article. I was just anxious to see what y'all was thinking because I'm like, you applying to be a bank, but technically, let's just say, in the background maybe, but I'm saying publicly they're not
Mm-hmm.
regulated. So I just think it's a little weird because publicly, technically, they're not regulated. So, it says here, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse confirmed on X on Wednesday that the company is applying for a license with the U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, following an earlier report by the Wall Street Journal. True to our longstanding compliance roots, Ripple is applying for a national bank charter from the OCC. Garlinghouse said if the license is approved, it would be a new and unique benchmark for trust in the stablecoin market, as the firm would be under federal and state oversight, with the New York Department of Financial Services already regulating its Ripple USD, which are a USD stablecoin. So this is a tweet right here from Brad Garlinghouse, because the Wall Street markets had tweeted Ripple has applied for a national banking license, joining a rush of cryptocurrency companies seeking to cross the divide into mainstream finance. So Brad responded and said, true to our long-standing compliance roots, Ripple is applying for a national bank charter from the OCC. If approved, we would have both state and federal oversight, a new and unique benchmark for trust in the stablecoin market. Earlier this week, let me see, is that it? Okay, I guess I would have to pull the actual tweet up because it's not showing me the whole thing, but I do have something to follow up with that from Chad, who made some good points. Because it's like, this is a big deal. Ripple doing this is a big deal because I want to say that this will make Ripple one of the most, I guess, the most compliant digital platform. Hold on, let me find it. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is actually like a huge deal for Ripple. Honestly, they should have went back to all-time highs off of this news. I don't know how we sitting at $2.30 and they applied to be a fucking bank, and XRP still sitting at $2.30. But
Regardless.
here it is. It says, yeah, ROUSD would be the most trusted U.S. digital dollar in the world. So this is from Jack McDonald. So he said a national trust would bring a dual layer of regulation for ROUSD as we continue to raise the bar for transparency and compliance in the stablecoin market, something few issuers today can claim. And so that's when Chad was like, yeah, this would make ROUSD would be the most trusted U.S. digital dollar in the world. And so yeah. So I'm not. Just how you know, it's just heavy manipulation, guys. Heavy manipulation, because Ripple should have moved crazy. XRP should have moved crazy just off of that. Just off of
Mm-hmm.
that news.
Y'all becoming a whole bank out here and nobody's excited. Like let's come on.
Yeah, like, let's be for real.
Come
Let's
on.
be for real. So yeah, I think that was pretty much all I had. But yeah, this Ripple news was huge. But just to follow up on the article, yeah, it's just saying that they followed Circle, and this the move both. So this is where I guess they kind of talk about the genius at right here. So it says Ripple's decision to get a banking license came just 2 days after Circle, which issues the second largest stablecoin, USDC, applied to the OCC to create a national trust bank that will oversee its stablecoin reserves. The move by both firms comes as the U.S. Senate passed a stablecoin regulating bill called the Genius Act, which lays out standards for offering U.S. dollar peg tokens, including that the OCC will oversee larger stablecoin issuers. So it's a Circle co-founder, Jeremy, said that the company was taking proactive steps to align with emerging U.S. regulation for the issuance and operation of dollar-denominated payment stablecoins. Anchorage Digital is the only crypto firm that holds a national bank charter. So Ripple bids for Fed master account. So this is another huge part of this. Ripple's Garland House added that the company also applied for a master account with the Federal Reserve. Did y'all hear that?
Woo.
Garland House added that the company also applied for a master account with the Federal Reserve, which would give it access to the U.S. central banking system. This access would allow us to hold ROUSD reserves directly with the Fed and provide an additional layer of security to future-proof trust ROUSD. So that's major. And then it goes on and says Congress is working towards clear rules and regulations and banks. In a far cry from the years of Operation Choke Point 2.0, are leaning in. He added, mentioning the conspiracy that the Biden administration sought to cut off crypto from the financial system. Ripple applied for the account through Standard Custody, a crypto custody firm it acquired in February 2024. Listen, this is major, gang. That's why I keep telling y'all this is bigger than Circle applying. This Ripple applying is a much bigger deal. These niggas is trying to get a master account with the Federal Reserve. So they're on some. This is a finance. This is what I need y'all to understand. Ripple trying to take over the whole banking system. That's what that sounds like to me.
Yeah.
You're trying to get a master account with the Federal Reserve. You're trying to take over. So it's no longer a myth. It's no longer a conspiracy. Y'all can stop calling XRP people the what do they be calling them?
I don't know. Everything in the book.
Everything in the book that y'all trying to call these people and call them delusional and crazy. Some of them are, but no, Ripple's they're working on running this bitch, bro. Just know that. Like, this is pretty obvious.
Run it up, fam. Run it up. Run it up. Run it up. Shit. I mean, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I mean, we already in the time period where it's gonna go parabolic pretty soon. You know, AI, automation, all this shit is going parabolic. So why wouldn't you believe?
I don't get it. I don't get it because the proof is right here. And for people that don't believe stuff until it's in black and white, the information is right here. I don't understand why people aren't taking the information and taking it for what it is. And people, you know, like Carolyn said, I mean, not Carolyn, Calla Mason. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but she said she tried to tell people, but they don't listen and call it a conspiracy. I don't know how you call it a conspiracy, and this stuff is documented. It's well documented. It's well out for the public to see, for public knowledge. So to sit here and miss out on this opportunity is crazy. And I think I tweeted yesterday, like, a lot of people just missing out on this opportunity just because they don't like Trump. Imagine you're missing out on generational wealth because you hate Donald Trump.
Not just that, it's just because they on the side of YouTube, they on the side of TikTok where they just entertained all day. They on the side where they just like, oh, what is it about Diddy? Oh, what is it about this person or that person?
That's all they worry about.
You know, what they need to be paying attention to, which is the banks, the U.S. Treasury, you know, all these organizations that are getting down with crypto and digital assets, right? They think it's a scam, though. They think it's a scam.
Exactly. And this is how you know that the market is heavily manipulated right now, because XRP only went up 3% on Ripple's bank charter application.
Yeah.
Ripple just applied to be the biggest bank basically in the world, in my opinion. They just applied to be a top bank, and we only went up 3%.
Yeah, and this is just a trend of, you know, the partnerships and, you know, everything that they've been talking about for the past, I don't know, 6 months, right? Future CMEs and all this other stuff, like, and it just keeps on going, just goes up a little bit, just a tad bit, and Jokers is still under the all-time high, and the all-time high is only $3.84. That's the crazy part. We can't even get past that. Mass manipulation, fam. Mass manipulation.
Like, you notice it's not letting it really go past $2.30 right now.
Yeah.
Like, it went back down to 220. It'll go to 230 and then it'll go back down to 226. And this is crazy manipulation, bro. This is wild to see. Like, this is crazy.
Even the information that's been coming out with the case and all this stuff like that, still.
So somebody said load up, folks. XRP is truly the banker's coin. Uh-huh. Some of y'all are so rude. Like, where's my mods on YouTube? I might need some more mods over there. Somebody said I'm the cutest nigga girl they ever seen. Y'all be so bold on the internet. That shit is crazy. I was just trying to read y'all comment. This is a complete done deal. They're just slow walking the news for sure.
Niggas be wilding, yo. Did you block them?
Yeah, but I don't have time to sit here and be trying to block and read and pull up everything. I can't do all that. I need some mods. If you want to be a mod on YouTube, please let me know. I can't be doing all that. That's too much. I'm trying to make sure we on the right damn article.
Listen. Oh, Natural Me said mod me. Fam, somebody said how much do we need? We can't tell you that, fam. We can't tell you that. We're not financial advisors. We are not advisors. Only you can know how much you need, fam.
100%. Yeah, I'm about to make you a mod. Give me 1 second. So yeah, that was pretty much it with the Ripple news. That's all I'll say for it for now because D got to go in like 30 minutes. But we'll move on to the next article. But yeah, that was a big deal for Ripple. So be on the lookout for that. I think that process is a long process, so don't look for an answer in the short term. But I will say there'll probably be a bank before 2027 or by 2027. So yeah.
So we got a couple people over here that want to be mods.
On YouTube? Okay. I'm about to come over there now. So yeah, I put the US SEC halts full launch of Grayscale. You can go over that one.
Okay. All right, bet. So the US SEC halts full launch of Grayscale digital large cap fund. So what does this mean? SEC playing games again? So the SEC will not be taking any action on Grayscale's exchange traded fund, the ETFs, filing for Solana, XRP, Cardano, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. There are suspicions that the regulator may not want to implement guidelines for crypto ETF before progressing with Grayscale's application. So although the United States SEC approved a rule change to allow Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, GDLC, to be listed and traded as a spot ETF on the New York Stock Exchange, right? It is not time to celebrate. they playing, fam. So shortly after, the United States regulator placed an indefinite pause on an order approving the trading of the Grayscale Fund. Dubbed the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, the ETF contains Solana, XRP, Cardano, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, and is weighted nearly 80% Bitcoin, 12% Ethereum, with less than 5%, 3%, and 1% exposure to XRP, Solana, Cardano, respectively. According to the earlier order, the commission may have a good cause to approve the ETF conversion for the product on an accelerated basis. However, a letter was attached to the order stating that the leadership to the SEC is pausing the order indefinitely, right? Until the commission orders otherwise. Damn, yo. They be playing right in our face, fam. They be playing right in our face. They be like, here, we're gonna do this, but then in the back end, they just like, all right, nah. We're not ready yet. So notably, James Saroff, I don't even know how to spell his name. Saroff, the senior Bloomberg ETF analyst, was the first to point out the document. Other experts in the market watchers have attempted to formulate theories why the regulator made this move. So he said on X, while Grayscale was given an approval order to the conversion of the GDLLC into ETF yesterday, this letter was attached to the approval that putting a stay on their ability to actually convert at this time. So he posted the video, or not the video, but the letter on X, and it says this letter is to notify pursuant to Rule 431 of the Commission's Rule of Practice. Right, the commission will review the delegated action in accordance with the rule. So basically, and this was dated on July 1st. So this was 2 days ago, right? So among the identified readings of how the SEC likely wants to ensure that it has an approved framework for crypto ETFs before approving any asset manager, right? And I'm like, how does this make sense? When Jerome and them said last week, what was that? Last week when it was like, go ahead, do y'all thing. How does this even make sense? for the SEC to just step in and just be like, nah, we're not going to approve this yet. You know what I'm saying? Are we really waiting for this bill? Like, is this bill? I know this bill is a big deal, but I'm just saying, like, are we really waiting for this to just be like, okay, yes, 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 and yes, right? Based on this, the Bloomberg analyst supports the view that the SEC is currently developing an internal framework for issuing digital asset ETFs. His colleague Eric Balkanis shares the same opinion. So as the plot thickens, the upper level of the SEC telling GDLC it cannot launch until otherwise. Not sure why. No other info than this letter. So my guess, though, they want to issue crypto ETF listing standards before any 33 Act spot ETFs hit the market with these other coins. So I guess they just certain order operation that they just wanted to do this shit in. I just feel like just mass manipulation at this point. Like,
right. But this is why I'm glad that where did it go? The SEC is supposed to be coming out with a better process for the ETF application situation. Yeah, here it is. It says the SEC is reportedly considering a simplified listing process for crypto ETFs that would automate much of the approval process. It says under the proposed structure, issuers could potentially skip the lengthy 19B4 application process and list within 75 days. So it could take up to 75 days, which I think is a long fucking time. They should be able to get this shit done in a week or two.
yes,
But it says within 75 days, so it may not take a whole 75 days. But yeah, I like that better because I'm like, why are y'all trying to all these applications coming in? Why are y'all trying to manually go through each of these applications like this? And it's taking this shit so long. You know, why is this process so long? We got all this technology, all this AI, and you know, when you can set the code, why are y'all doing this manually? Like, I don't get it. So I was glad to see they came out with that. I think that came out yesterday. This news came out. So they should have been automated this process. Like, this is overdue. So hopefully that help out with shit like this.
Nah, hopefully it does. Hopefully it does. And you know, I mean, like you said earlier, the manipulation is just on 10. So, you know, it's just more news to just, I guess, keep cats at bay, you know, and make y'all go crazy. If y'all go crazy, that's why you gotta keep it level. That's why you gotta take your emotions out of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta become like emotionless. Because when I hear news, I'm like, okay, this is cool. We'll see. And then I'll look at the chart and I'm like, all right, ain't shit moving off of this. So was the news really newsworthy? So was Ripple even becoming a bank or talking about we're going for a license? Was that even really like anything to hoot and scream about? I'm thinking at the end of the day, because the price ain't even moving.
Manipulation, bro.
Yeah.
We're dealing with mass manipulation right now.
So what we and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
Okay. So the next one
we want to talk about. Let's go into that
we got this Ethereum article.
Yeah. Let's go into Ethereum. Because I know we talk about Ethereum, you know, high ass gas fees, but fam, it ain't going nowhere, fam. It ain't going nowhere. And I already said before Ethereum was gonna go to like 10K at least. Right. And this article kind of explains my stance of what I was saying before. Ethereum's ambitions journey to 10K begins with new community foundation launch. So Zach Cole, who is a leading Ethereum core developer, has launched a new initiative to the drive of Ethereum's network expansion and boost its market value. So in a speech at the Ethereum Community Conference yesterday, Cole introduced the Ethereum Community Foundation, an independent entity dedicated to supporting Ethereum asset and pushing its price to 10K, right? So what is it? What is this foundation? Cole emphasized that the ECF's mission is to fund projects aimed at strengthening Ethereum's ecosystem. So the ECF website stated that the project distinguishes itself from the Ethereum Foundation by focusing on initiatives the Ethereum Foundation has been unable or unwilling to pursue. So it's all these different initiatives that's going on that, you know, Ethereum hasn't got their hands on. So the community foundation layer will help with. So, quote, each price has been overlooked for too long. The ECF is here to change that. We are on a mission focused on growing its value through education, funding, outreach, and ecosystem support. Ripple was doing the same thing. We reported on that maybe like a week or two ago on how they're going to be partnering up with different places and, for education, funding, and outreach and stuff like that. So I guess Ethereum's getting on the board as well. So to achieve this 10K Ethereum goal, Cole explained that the ECF would take a more direct approach in supporting ETH holders and fostering the ecosystem's growth. This includes funding projects that aim to enhance Ethereum's infrastructure, collaborate with governments and institutions, and prioritize actions that maximize ETH's value and minimize the issuance of new tokens. He also pointed out the importance of ETH's value, stating that the price is more than mere speculation and it actually plays a vital role supporting validators, securing the network, and enabling ETH to handle global transactions. And according to him, he said ETH to 10K is not a meme. It's a requirement, a benchmark, and a mandate. A $1.2 trillion market cap makes Ethereum competitive with gold's monetary role. Price is not just speculation. It funds validators, it secures the network, and it earns ETH to the right settle global value. So meanwhile, the creation of the ECF follows criticism of the Ethereum Foundation, particularly its decision to sell ETH earlier this year. Because remember, there was a crazy ass sell-off earlier this year that we have reported on months ago where people was just selling Ethereum in droves, right? But I still remain like, yeah, Ethereum's not going nowhere. So in response to that, the EF has introduced a new leadership team and is now utilizing a more community-aligned approach, including ETH for stablecoin liquidity through platforms like Aave to avoid further sales. So how you feel about ETH? How you feel about ETH going forward?
Oh, I'm cool. They running off the XRPL now. I don't give a fuck about you.
Oh.
Cool. Now I ain't got to worry about their gas fees in
Right.
the very near future. That was my only issue with them. Fucking gas fees. I don't care. I mean, hey, since I'm in DeFi now, I like Ethereum a little bit more. But
yeah. Daniel saying ETH at 10K, them gas fees about to be serious. But if it's running with I think it was Arbitrum, right? Arbitrum. That
Arbitrum or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Arbitrum. However you pronounce it. Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah,
here we go.
We cool with Ethereum. As long as if I can get around them gas fees, we good.
Yeah. And each price is currently 2,500, 2,575.
Let's get into this Robinhood drama real quick.
Yeah.
We got Robinhood CEO responds to comments on OpenAI and SpaceX tokenization.
Damn.
So I don't know what's up with that. So this article, so I'll let him read it because I don't know what's up with him responding to Open. I'm like, what the beef is with y'all? What the hell going on? So let's see.
Yeah, because we talked about how the tokenization of OpenAI and SpaceX was going to be instrumental, because I think that was reported like a day or two ago. I don't know. The days be blending in together. I know it was recent. So despite the success of the launch of tokenized equity for firms like OpenAI and SpaceX on June 30th, so that was June 30th, Robinhood has been facing some backlash. Surprise, surprise, right? The company CEO, Vlad, has reacted to the criticism, stating that the tokenized assets still give retail investors access to private firms, which is otherwise absolutely not possible. Meanwhile, the Robinhood stock continued to rally 7% yesterday. So OpenAI rejects equity claims for Robinhood tokens. Robinhood faces backlash on its efforts to democratize retail participation in private companies. So after the firm introduced tokenized stocks for OpenAI, Sam Altman's AI company, and stated that they do not endorse it, right? So distancing themselves from circulation of OpenAI tokens on the Robinhood trading platform, the AI firm clarified that these tokens do not represent equity of the company. Oh, so they're just trying to get money, right? But they said on Twitter that, and this is OpenAI's newsroom on Twitter, quote, "These OpenAI tokens are not OpenAI equity. We did not partner with Robinhood. We're not involved with this and do not endorse it. Any transfer of OpenAI equity requires our approval. We did not approve any transfer. Please be careful." Damn. So who out here trying to get jokers? Who out here saying OpenAI tokens is available, right? And stuff like that. So Elon Musk also reacted to this post by saying, OpenAI's equity is fake. Yo, fam, the war of the billionaires, fam. Yo,
I'm about sick of Elon. I want Elon to shut the fuck up. I just want him to go launch the rockets, bro. I'm so sick of seeing him tweet.
No, but this is the thing, though. What is interesting is that he didn't write anything about Robinhood's SpaceX tokens. He just talking about OpenAI's
OpenAI, yeah.
Yeah.
He just be talking too much, but yeah.
Yeah. He be talking.
Funny as hell though. Say her equity is fake.
No. He be on
for you.
He be on that type of time though.
So
Vlad said last night that at our recent crypto event, we announced a limited stock token giveaway on OpenAI and SpaceX to eligible European customers. While it is true that they aren't technically equity, you can see the precise dynamics in our terms for those interested. The tokens effectively give retail investors exposure to these private assets. Our giveaway plants a seed for something much bigger, and since our announcement, we've been hearing from many private companies that are eager to join us in tokenization revolution. Thank you. So I feel like the CEO of Robinhood is trying to put people onto game, but then you got other guys like OpenAI and Elon Musk talking about like, well, this shit is fake. So it's kind of like you got to use your discernment in these time periods, fam.
You do.
So if it's fake, it's fake. If it's real, it's real. I mean, we're not financial advisors. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they beefing. I don't know why it matters, but it seemed like it's a deeper issue going on with that.
It's a power trip, bro. It's just who's going to be the top dog. Everybody, who's going to be the Apple of this sector is
right.
I feel like what it is.
Right.
And everybody's racing to be that top dog. So we'll see how that go. I ain't got time for billionaire.
She said I got time.
Where the money at? Time for that.
So, and then currently Robinhood's tokenized stocks are trading on Arbitrum blockchain network. However, it will soon introduce layer 2 blockchain to enable 24/7 trading, self-custody, and commission-free transactions for tokenized stocks. So get ready.
All right, so we got some more Ripple news. So Ripple's new Swiss banking deal unlocks a European corridor in stablecoin wars.
Ooh.
So we'll go over that. So yeah, Ripple's new Swiss banking deal. So let's get into that.
So,
it says, oh, you want to go? You want to read
it? Yeah, fuck it, I'll read it. So basically, the Swiss bank, Amina Bank, will provide custody and trading for Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin. The move offers a relatively new dollar-pegged asset with the European based inside the FEMA licensed institution. So a development that integrates the stablecoin directly into regulated banking environment for institutional and private clients, right? And Swiss, you know what I mean? Over there, that's where the IMF is located. That's where what's that? The BIS, the Bank of International Settlements. They over there in Switzerland, right? The integration marks one of the first adoptions for RLUSD by a traditional banking entity since Ripple announced the asset. However, RLUSD has already completed successful deals with foundational regulatory bodies and major institutional platforms. The stablecoin first secured approval from the New York Department of Financial Services and more recently, the Dubai Financial Service Authority, clearing its use within the Dubai International Financial Center. Furthermore, as part of its $1.25 billion acquisition, Ripple is integrating RLUSD into the prime brokerage platform Hidden Road, right? We've been talking about that for a minute, to serve as a collateral between crypto and traditional assets. The stablecoin is also live on Ripple Payments platform, which is used to enterprise clients like BKK Forex and iSend for cross-border treasury operations. So not just cross-border payments, but cross-border treasury operations, right? Per a formal announcement from Amina, the bank's decision was based on the stablecoin structure and Ripple's stated approach to compliance. Miles Harrison, who is the chief product officer, noted that the bank is committed to integrating cutting-edge projects, and Ripple's commitment to transparency makes them ideal collaborators. Interestingly, Amina is partnered with the Deutsche Bank-backed Swiss firm Taurus, which received approval from FEMA to offer tokenized securities to retail investors through the TDX marketplace. So not only do we got tokenized stocks, bonds, but we got tokenized security. Like everything is going to be tokenized and put onto the blockchain, fam. Everything. So Ripple positioned the partnership as a strategic entry into the European market by working with established financial institutions to build compliant infrastructure. Ripple is seeking to align MiCA requirements. RLUSD is pegged 1-to-1 to the dollar and backed by segregated reserves of cash and cash equivalents. So, yeah, fam. Yeah, fam. Swiss bank, Swiss area, Switzerland, Ripple, new partnership. So they actually doubling down on that whole banking thing, right? They gonna release as much banking news as they can. I'm just waiting for them to be like, yeah, Citibank, we with y'all. I'm just waiting for them to be like, yo, credit unions, yeah, we with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just waiting for that.
Waiting for them NDAs to be up.
Yeah.
Any day now. When are the NDAs up? I really wish we had a date, but that's why they didn't give us one. I really wish we had a date for the NDAs. That would tell us so much. Oh man, that would tell us so much. But
maybe certain NDAs is up at certain time periods during the year, right? So, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that was pretty much all for that. I'm gonna put all these articles in the Telegram if you want to follow them.
All right, we got an Arthur Hayes article. Can you tell them who Arthur Hayes is real quick before I read it?
Yo, Arthur Hayes. Shout out to Arthur Hayes. Arthur Hayes is one of those innovators, fam. He has a platform. He's the co-founder of BitMEX. And BitMEX is it's a big deal, fam. He actually beat the SEC. He actually is like, yeah, I'm good. Like the SEC came after him or whatever. No sweat. This dude is too smart for the game. So Arthur Hayes is one of those innovators in blockchain, Web3, etc. So, fam, he says that the U.S. banks may unlock what 6.8 trillion in T-bills buying power
through stablecoins. He's calling it. Arthur
Damn.
Hayes is calling it. So Arthur Hayes, who is the co-founder of BitMEX, believes the U.S. Treasury may soon turn to stablecoins to navigate its growing debt challenges. Yeah, he's not wrong. In a July 3rd post, Hayes argued that the U.S. government's increasing dependence on bond sales risks destabilizing financial markets unless new strategies emerge. According to Hayes, the Treasury is struggling to find enough buyers for its debt without pushing interest rates above 5%. He claimed that Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is expected to issue over $5 trillion in bonds to cover new deficits and refinance existing ones, but to avoid sparking panic in debt markets, alternative sources of liquidity are needed, and that's where stablecoins come in. Hayes suggests that stablecoins issued by traditional banks could unlock up to $6.8 trillion in Treasury bill purchasing power. These funds currently sitting dormant in the banking system could be recycled into the economy by tokenizing deposits and routing them into U.S. debt instruments. So this is Bessent. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Arthur. He said, I believe the reason why the Bessent is so pumped, why Bessent is so pumped up about all things stablecoin is that by issuing a stablecoin, TBTF banks will unlock up to $6.8 trillion of T-bill purchasing power. These deposits can be re-leveraged within the Fugazi fiat financial system to levitate markets. So Arthur Hayes know what the fuck is going on. Hayes highlighted JP Morgan's JPMD token as a case study of how big banks could shift toward blockchain-based compliance and automation. He argued that traditional compliance processes reliant on outdated tech and costly human oversight could be replaced by AI-driven systems using transparent on-chain data. So for people that's like not believing in that the financial system is changing, or they think it's a conspiracy theory with this whole crypto blockchain thing, yeah, y'all got to start reading a little bit more and stop just saying shit, because y'all starting to look real slow. Because we just argued a great point about traditional compliance process. Because if you think we're going to continue to use this outdated tech and things are going to continue to move as slow as they are and as slow as they do, you know, I'm gonna sell you an igloo in Arizona because you know, I mean, you a little slow. In his view, tokenized dollars like JPMD could dramatically cut compliance costs and it's an estimated $20 billion annually across major banks while enabling near instant regulatory reporting. Hames claimed AI tools could enforce regulatory rules more efficiently than human teams because they are built on public blockchains with fully identified addresses. And then he says an AI agent trained on the corpse of relevant compliance regulations can perfectly ensure that certain transactions are never approved. The AI can also instantaneously prepare any report requested by a regulator. So he already on it. So Arthur Hayes is telling you about stable coins and how that's gonna disrupt the financial sector, and then he goes in and tells you how AI agents can just pretty much do this better than human teams. And he
And
said,
fam, they wanted to put this. They wanted to put this cat in jail, fam. They wanted
yeah,
to put this cat in jail. They wanted to put him under the jail. Like the president. The president had to intervene and be like, nah, this guy's one of them ones, fam.
yeah. Yeah, because he's disrupting a sector that these people are making billions and trillions of dollars off of, with the information he knows. But more importantly, Hayes believes this shift offers banks significant advantages of reclaiming deposit dominance from fintech challenges, boosting profit margins by eliminating interest payments on tokenized deposits and reaping share price gains from improved efficiency. And then he goes into debt monetization, and he concluded that the U.S. government's embrace of stablecoins is less about innovation or financial freedom than about monetizing debt. He said the real stablecoin play isn't betting on crusty fintechs like Circle. It's understanding that the U.S. government just handed TBTF banks the launch keys to a multi-trillion-dollar liquidity bazooka disguised as innovation. This isn't DeFi. This isn't financial freedom. This is debt monetization dressed in Ethereum drag. Damn.
Damn.
He said, considering this, he warned investors watching the macro picture against waiting for traditional signals, such as another round of quantitative easing. Instead, he advised go long Bitcoin. See, this when you know the bullshit kicks in. When we talking about go long Bitcoin, go long JP Morgan, forget about Circle. The stablecoin Trojan horse is already inside the fortress. And when it opens, it's not armed with libertarian dreams. It's loaded with T-bill bond liquidity aimed at keeping equities inflated, deficient funding, and boomers sedated. So Arthur, he in order for him to not have gone to jail, he had to. So I'm gonna just say at the end of that, Arthur just saying some shit that he has to say because Arthur didn't want to go to jail, and I'm trying to keep it PG for the internet. Arthur didn't want to go to jail, so Arthur has to tell y'all complete bullshit talking about go long on Bitcoin. Yeah, they must have a gun to his wife's head or something because. Nigga, you got to be out your mind. But he did make some valid points.
For sure.
Here, and I'm glad that he brought up AI agents. AI agents is getting talked about more and more and more. And DeFi King told y'all that you're going to start seeing AI agents more and more, especially by the end of this year. So I was happy to see him bring up the AI agents. But Arthur know what the fuck going on. He just threw me off with that Bitcoin bullshit. And that, what else he said? And the stablecoin Trojan horse. Like, boy.
Well, he said go long Bitcoin and JP Morgan. JP Morgan is wrapped around all of this shit, fam. Like,
Let me
it's
tell
no
you
way.
something. He said go long JP Morgan. What's your
Yeah,
boy
he said
saying?
go long JP Morgan. He said go long Bitcoin, go long JP Morgan. Forget about Circle.
What's
All these cats is working together, fam.
Exactly, but he's telling people to go long on JP Morgan. Your boy, listen, until the banks come out and say that they're going to start offering yield. Your boy Barron just told y'all banks like Wells Fargo, Bank of America are now in official panic mode because 89% of Gen Z and millennials have reported that they will leave their banks for crypto and DeFi platforms offering yield, tokenized stocks, and Web3. So until the banks come and say, and the crazy part is, I don't even see the banks offering the same yield that you can get in DeFi. So I still think, whatever that's why we got to see how this plays out. But to sit here and say go long on JP Morgan, it's like, bro, boy.
So the banks is gonna be like, here's 5%.
Like that.
So the banks is gonna be like, here's 5% while we make 5,000%.
Right, I can go over here and make 5,000% APR over here. You think I'm finna put my money here and make 5%? Man, get out of here, bro. Yeah. So but yeah. That was a pretty good article. Arthur Hayes, he had to make a deal.
He is a pioneer, regardless of he had to say what he had to say.
Right. Right. And then, yeah, the last article we had is just about Microsoft to cut up 9,000 more jobs as it invests in AI. So again, we've been saying this for the last couple years that AI was coming for y'all jobs. The reason why we pointed this one out was because Microsoft is a huge company. A lot of people's identity is tied to this company. So to see 9,000 up to I guess up to 9,000 more jobs because they've already been cutting people out. So to see them cut
Oh
out
yeah, yeah.
another 9,000 jobs. This is just a warning to everybody. Like I told y'all at the beginning of the live, like have an identity outside of these companies. Trust God in the process because He's just redirecting you and redirecting your life. Um, but this is sad to see. But this is going to be happening to a lot of people. AI is coming for a lot of these blue collar jobs. Um, and yeah, a lot of y'all gonna be having to figure it out, which is why we've been trying to tell y'all about DeFi and different income strategies because you can it's different cash flows you can have, but a lot of y'all are so content because you work at Microsoft and you're making $200,000 a year, you don't see shit else. And that's a sad way to live because the shit like this happened, they gonna cut 9,000 jobs, and now you ain't making that $200,000 no more because you was closed minded. But it just says that Microsoft has confirmed that it will lay off as many as 9,000 workers in the technology giant's latest wave job cuts this year. The company says several divisions will be affected without specifying which ones, but reports suggest that its Xbox video gaming unit will be hit. Not surprised. Xbox is shut up. I ain't no gamer, but I'm more of a PlayStation person. Microsoft has set out plans to invest heavily in artificial intelligence and is spending $80 billion in huge data centers to train AI models. If you work at Microsoft, I hope you take that to heed. They're Microsoft has set out plans to invest heavily in artificial intelligence. If y'all getting these company news, this is why y'all need to start looking at them company newsletters that they send y'all when y'all clock in the morning. If you're getting and they're saying that they're planning to invest heavily in artificial intelligence, you need to be figuring out, okay, how else can I make money? Because I don't know what that means. And I'm not saying everybody's gonna get laid off, but you got to be like, you got to humble yourself and be like, I don't know what this means. I don't know if this means I'm going to lose my job in the near future, but I need to be making sure I got more money coming in than what I'm going to lose out on if they lay me off because of AI. So if you see companies saying that they're getting ready to heavily invest in AI, please don't be stupid. They don't need you. Yeah. So it says a spokesperson for the firm told BBC we continue to implement organizational changes necessary to best position the company for success in a dynamic marketplace. So they're gonna put the company before you. I don't care how much they paying you. I don't care if you work at Microsoft right now and they're paying you $250,000 a year. They just told BBC that they're putting the company in a better position. Not you, the company.
Right.
The company in a better position. They're not worried about you. So I know you got to go. It's 12 o'clock. But yeah, that was pretty much we'll put that article in the Telegram. But yeah, y'all don't start untying your identity with these companies, y'all. Please. That's gonna be a lot of y'all downfall. Like a lot of people gonna end up in mental institutions because they don't know what to do when these jobs let them go. So please don't be one of those people that don't know how to identify yourself because that company laid you off. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, make sure y'all get in the Telegram. Make sure y'all get that digital banking class that we just had. The recording is up. So I know a lot of people was asking for it, so we got the recording up. Everybody should have received a recording that did purchase the class. All that's
If you
in the
did,
bio.
hit me up.
Make
If
sure
you didn't, hit me up.
Yeah, and yeah. Other than that, y'all, we appreciate everybody coming in. Shout out to Daniel for the super chats. Appreciate you over there on YouTube, bro. Always appreciate it. But yeah, other than that, we'll see y'all when some news drop. Appreciate everybody for stopping in this morning, and we'll see y'all when some news drop. Yeah.
Peace.